Alright, so over a year-long wait, but Waltress version 0.6 has arrived. So let's just load it up really quick. Alright, so there's some new things. The first new thing is that you can run Waltress on your desktop without Dolphin using an emulation software called QEMU. So we're actually going to head over to the computer really quick and I'm going to show you how it works. Alright, so now we're back at the desktop. So first things first, Waltress is a PPC assembler that's completely handwritten in PPC. Waltress is named after one of Dacia's cats, and she is a brown and black calico. Waltress can also assemble gecko codes. That's the 04 code type, the 06 code type, the C0 code type, and the C2 code type. So version 0.6 has all these features. So first things first, we have the desktop version is now available, and that requires the QEMU software. QEMU can install on Windows, Mac OS, and a variety of Linux distros. Just go to Google to figure out how to install QEMU and how to use it. So both engines are completely overhauled. Not only that, if you have a faulty instruction when assembling, you'll get notified of that instruction. If there's multiple instructions at fault, it'll just be the first one only. And when you do get notified of a bad instruction, Waltress will give you a vague reason as to why that is. Also, the quirky SIMM ranges are fixed, super strict formatting is removed. Basically all the simplified mnemonics are now covered, which is great. You can now have some comments on your files, but there's a little bit of restrictions regarding that. Your files can now have extra spacing, enters, tabs, etc. I fixed a few bugs I found from the previous version, and we changed the error code system to plain error text messages, and we removed, I guess I'm the only one working on it, but yeah, you get it. Binary file support is removed, as well as file deletion support. So that's enough about the features. Let's actually go over a demonstration about using Waltress. So when you download Waltress, let me just zoom in really quick. This is the folder that will be extracted out to download. And then once you open it, you'll have these items. There will be the README and the notes.txt, so be sure to read over those two documents to know how to run Waltress and whatnot. And also regarding what to put in for gecko codes, so Waltress will know your file is a gecko code. So when using the desktop application, go to the DV folder right here, double click, and inside this directory you'll have the main executable, and you'll have the two engine files. So you can just have a terminal or have one open in the directory. Make the executable, make the file executable first, the main file, before you try launching it, and then launch it. So type A for assembling, type D for disassembling. Right now we don't have any files present, so if I just type anything like that, it'll show an error message. When assembling, you'll need a source.s file, and if you're disassembling, you need a code.txt file. So we'll go over some examples. Let's get this source really quick. So this is just a raw assembly source. It's not a gecko code or anything like that. Let's zoom in on it. This file basically contains every different possible combination of instruction, if you're talking about just simplified versus standard mnemonic and whatnot, and like branch hints and like whether or not you're using the record feature. So that's basically every instruction right there. Let's copy that over. Alright, let's assemble. Type A, press enter, success. And now we have a code txt that's generated. So a source.s will always be assembled to a code.txt, and a code.txt will always be disassembled to a source.s. Obviously, don't have both files present at the same time. So there it is, the code.txt, zoom in, and it has all assembled correctly. Alright, cool. So let's delete those two items. Check out another source, this one. Okay, so here's an example. So for starters, we have a gecko header. Let me zoom in. Alright, we have a gecko header. This is designating the C0 code type. We have some instructions, and as you can see, we have some comments next to the instructions. The only real limitation with comments is that you can't have them on their own line. They can only be next to an instruction, and only after the instruction, not before. So that's really the only restriction on them. You can have any amount of extra enters or tabs, whatever, it doesn't matter. Hell, if you even want to put a space, like spaces in between an instruction name, you can. As you can see, we have spacing here. We'll save that. Alright, let's copy that over. Make sure the file name is source.s. Make sure you can see the terminal. Assemble, success. Check the code.txt, and as you can see, it has assembled to a valid C0 code, and the BLR was added for you. And here's the gecko header. So the gecko header always gets transferred between code.txt and source S. So that way you always need the header present so Waltress can know it's a gecko code. We will delete that. Try another example. Alright. Here we go. We have a C2 source. So here's the C2 gecko header. See exclamation point C2, 24-bit address, and we have our source. Copy that over to the working directory. Rename it to source.s. Launch Waltress. Assemble. Success. Alright, and as you can see, we have a valid C2 code with the gecko header transferred over. Now if you want to disassemble, let's just go ahead and delete the source.s. So now we're just left with the C2 code. Alright, and we have the gecko header present. Launch Waltress. Disassemble. We're using the option D now instead of A. Success. Check the source, and as you can see, it's a plain Jane source because it was disassembled into such. Just zoom in really quick so you can see it. Has the C2 gecko header with all of our instructions from before. So now let's delete code.txt. And what's really cool about Waltress is that if you mess up, you have a faulty instruction, she will tell you the instruction that's at fault and give you a vague reason why. So let's say for whatever reason you have this clear left word instruction, I don't know, you're in a rush, and you typoed R10 to make R100, which is obviously an invalid register. We'll save that. Now let's run Waltress and try to assemble and see what happens. Error. So what Waltress will do is she'll display the instruction that's causing the issue. She will strip out any spaces that are present. This is completely normal. So here we see the clear left word immediate instruction is the issue. We can see there's an R100 and it says error. The above instruction was interpreted by Waltress to be valid, but an invalid parameter was being used. And then it gives you some recommendations of what could be the reason. So okay, now let's go and fix that. Open up the source. Fix that. Rerun Waltress, and success. Alright, and that's pretty much it. If you heard any background noise during this video, that's because someone flushed the toilet. Alright, so apologies for that. And okay, that's version 0.6. I'll put a download link in the description below, as well as the link to the GitHub repository. Alright, and as always, thanks for watching, guys. I know I don't really release much codes or content nowadays because there's really not much. Also just busy with things and whatnot. So, till next time.